with, of course, threats is that you don't see the result until after it's happened and the threat, and the threat is carried out. And in many cases, the threats aren't carried out. But is it your view that there will be more tech leaving?
Yeah, so absolutely. I think at the short term, we're going to see more tech leaving. We're going to see less investments. But I'm really optimistic that this is going to change with time. And I think that Israeli tech is really, really strong. Investors want to invest in Israel. And that's going to change. They continue to invest. We're going to continue to see the growth and the prosperation of Israel. It's just a matter of time that, we need to go the streets and really, I think that if you look at these pictures, they actually show the demonstration of how strong the Israeli democracy is. We're going to protect it, and definitely money will come back to Israel.
You say how strong Israeli democracy is, but the government did get a mandate. Now, we can argue till the cows come home what that mandate was by the number of the people who voted. But the reality is, as the Prime Minister says, more people voted for parties that wanted these reforms than not.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I'm not saying that the government wasn't elected. What I'm saying, what we're actually protesting against is not the what, but the how, right? When you want to make such big changes to the Israeli law and make such big reforms, you need to do it by vast majority, right? You need to get people consent because it's everybody's country, not just the ones that have been elected now, right? So I believe, by the way, and I trust that that's the first law, but I think that it's going to stop at some point. I think that Netanyahu will come to his senses.
Interesting.
And we do need the support, by the way, of the President Biden and the U.S. administration as being part, our best partners in the world and the true partners and believers in the Israeli democracy.
Okay, but what happens when they don't believe in it? What happens, when they are, when, as you have now, you've got the US president recognizing Netanyahu's difficulty, but basically saying they don't agree with the new laws?
So we don't agree again with the pace. Reform is not all bad, right? It's the how and what's the pace and what's the majority of the people that are actually supporting these reforms, right? And we do need, and I do believe in the strength of the partnership between Israel and the United States and President Biden and the US administration as being partners of ours since the beginning.
Right. Ultimately, I can't see how this works out because the fissures are so great on these particular laws and Israel is so riven. Look, I was there just a few months ago, a couple of times, and Israel is so riven that I could see these laws being passed and everybody just having to get used to them because reversing them will be difficult as well.
I agree that reverting is going to be difficult. This is why you see all these people on the streets. And again, the people also on the government and the coalition that I believe that at some point will make a stop to all the vast the speed of change, right? Changes needs to be done carefully and with the acceptance and consent of the majority of the people in Israel. And 61, 64 is not a vast majority.
I'm very grateful to you. Thank you for joining us tonight to put it into perspective. We will talk more about this with you in the future. Thank you.